Hi everybody, it's Dave here from Plymouth Marine and Dartmouth Marine. Today we're going to take a look at one of our new stock boats, which is the Nimbus 305 Coupe. We're going to take a walk through the boat and look at the full specification on board and dive a little bit deeper to find out what makes this a fantastic 10-metre cruiser. So as we start at the stern on the bathing platform, you've got a nice wide bathing platform to get access on and off the boat from the stern. If we have a little look around, you've got a nice little locker here which can be used to obviously stow some ropes, but obviously it's got your connection for your shore power in there as well. Although on this particular model, this one's actually been spec'd with a bow connection as well. So there's a connection up in the anchor locker in the bow, so you can also, whether you berthing bow or stern on this one, you can connect your shore power to that as well. Nice large cleats on there. You've then also got the nice bathing ladder at the stern to get access on and off, which will deploy, obviously fold out and then extend, so it gives you nice access from the stern. You've got this lovely teak deck. Then also on this side, if you have a little look from here, excuse this rope, this is just here as a security measure. And then in here, you've then got your shower, stern shower, so you can obviously have a nice hot or cold shower there from the stern. You've got a little flag pole there for you to put your stern flag on. And then you've got here at the back, which again is classic Nimbus, always done with style and class, is the nice little fender storage at the stern here for you to easily get access to your fenders to pop on. And then when you're underway, you can stow them nice and easily at the back, and they're easily accessible rather than having to try and reach down into a deep locker to get access to them. And then from the stern bathing platform, from here, you can then gain access into the boat from that nice safe gate, which provides a great bit of security, along with the high gunnels at the side there for if you've got any young children on board or pets. As you make your way into the aft cockpit via the stern bathing platform, you're greeted by this lovely sort of L-shaped sociable seating area, which will quite comfortably sit 4 to 5 people around this beautifully handcrafted teak table. Again, this just showing the different high-level products and materials that Nimbus use in their craftsmanship, and also the attention to detail is just a different level. You've got these nice grab hold handles here on the front end of this table and on the stern. So again, if you've got someone sat in this aft seat here and they want something to hold on to when they're underway, they can use that as a grab handle. And again, a little feature, nice little touch, which is obviously these little cutouts in the wood for your glass or a cold drink, and you don't want anything pooling on the table. It's a nice little run off there for little drips to drip off the table. So again, lovely attention to detail on the quality of products that they use. You've got a nice little boat hook here, which is neatly stowed in that vertical position there. So it's nicely out of the way, but it's also at the same time easy to get to and quick to get to should you need it in a hurry, rather than having to delve into a locker to try and find it somewhere. Underneath this port side aft seat, you've also then got quite a big bit of storage in there, so you can store quite a bit of stuff underneath here, as well as access to space for 2 gas cylinders, which will then obviously power your ceramic gas top hob and also the gas oven. As we look around the cockpit a little bit further, you've also then got ceiling lights that are sunk into the ceiling here, which will light up this area nicely at night, particularly when you've got your aft canopy up or your enclosure, just to create a nice little comfy area. And also you could then leave your patio door open and you could have your diesel heater running as well, and you can seal this aft deck area off and it'll be nice and cozy. And you've also then got your nice little courtesy deck lights that run around the boat in different positions. There's also some underneath this seat here as well on this side. So it's a lovely sociable space in this aft cockpit area, nice and cozy, plenty of space. And then this seat here at the stern, that will fold up out the way, which will then give you access into the engine bay area here, which is just located there, which we will show you in a second. So to gain access into the engine bay, we're just going to remove these two stern cushions, like so, and then this rear section of seat will fold up, and it will clip into the back, and then remove that one around. Here is the that's the stirrup pump for the manual Jabsco bilge pump. So obviously they have a manual one on here as well. There's a backup, there's a fail-safe. If the automatic one has failed to work, which it won't do, but it's always nice to have a backup. We'll turn that one back under your latches, and then you can just, again, these are on hydraulic rams, so it's nice and easy. You're not having to lift a heavy hatch. And then just show you down into the engine bay. So it gives you a nice bit of access in and around the engine, so you can quite easily carry out your engine checks very quickly before you head off. And then so you can get around the engine both sides pretty easily. If I actually remove the cushion from the other side, this will actually go a little bit further, give us a bit more access. And then you've got obviously a light that comes on there, which is great. And then you've also got another light, which is down here. And again, we've got a little hatch off there at the moment, but you've also then got a load of storage inside this area. So not only have we got storage inside the lazarette on the starboard aft side, we've also then got a nice bit of storage in there if you want to put a nice big plastic box in there with either service parts for the engine or spares or tins of food or anything like that. You've got plenty of space that you can keep it nice and dry inside that storage compartment there. So again, this is the Volvo D4 270 which powers this boat, and again you'd be looking at a top speed of around 22 knots and cruising anything between sort of 12 to 18 knots when she's cruising. But yes, she'll maximum speed of around approximately 22 knots, but she will quite comfortably make long journeys in comfort. As we make our way into the saloon via this large sliding patio door, which will actually lock in again into different locations. So if you're underway and you want to have the door slightly open, you can do that, but also you can again pull it all the way back, and it gives you a large access in through that door there as you step into the saloon. So stepping inside, one of the obvious things you notice as soon as you walk in is the amount of light that's in this cabin. It's just so much light that comes in, particularly from the ceiling windows that are on the top there, and also obviously from the patio door that's behind us, and obviously the large windows on both the port and on the starboard side as well. You've got obviously the two windows at the top here, so the one on the starboard side above the helm position and the one on the port side at the front. Both of those will retract back, and they're nice wide opening there, so actually when you stood at the helm position you can actually look out through that top window if you want to get a bit better visibility as well. And then obviously the panels behind that are obviously fixed, but they still provide a huge amount of light into this saloon area, which gives again a nice airy feel to it, and particularly from the helm position also with these large windows gives you a fantastic visibility all the way around the actual boat. You can obviously shut these off as well, the ones on the ceiling with these blinds at the top, so these will quite conveniently pull down from the ceiling and then pull across on both sides, either side, so that will shut that off at night. And again, the curtains on both starboard side and the port side will run across from here, and same on the port side, and then also on the bow you've then also got a nice bow windscreen cover, which will cover the whole of that area and then close it off at night to keep it nice and dark. And obviously the curtain there at the stern will obviously shut off the whole of the patio area. So having a little look around inside the saloon, again you've got this lovely seating area, which again will sit quite comfortably for people around this table for an evening meal. And again, this table will obviously split and fold in half again, similar to the cockpit table that's outside. Again, you've got little cup holders on there as well, which is a very nice little touch. You've got a little bit of storage there in behind that forward-facing seat, and obviously a nice little reading light. So if you want to sit there of an evening and read a book, which is really nice to do. A lot of lights again all the way around. You've got some down lights which are just up underneath here, which are very nice, and also there's some nice little down lights underneath the actual galley storage area underneath there and underneath the fridge, which runs along, which again makes it really nice at night. On the port side, this is a rock and roll seat. So obviously in this position, you can use it in this position sat around this table, but it will also, and we'll show you in a second, that will also rock into a forward-facing position, so that when you're underway, it's a fantastic spot to be sat in, because it sits up really nice and high for you to be looking forward through that large window whilst you're underway, which is a fantastic thing to do. Also, this table, the table itself will actually lower down, and you can get an infill into here as well. So this is a 2-cabin boat. So it's 33 foot, 10.07 metres, 2 cabins. So it's a two and two, and then also you've then got the option to have another berth here as well if you want to, which you could probably put a couple of young children in here if you wanted to as well. So again, you can close that off at night to make it a nice little area, a nice cosy area to sleep. As we look over onto the starboard side, so onto the starboard side over here, we have obviously the galley. So we've got on the right here, we've got the ceramic cooktop hob on the top. So that is run by gas, which again we spoke about earlier with the 2 gas cylinders, which you can store in the on the port side, port rear aft locker. And obviously you've then also got your gas oven, which is under there as well. And then we've also got, and I'll just quickly put the camera down so you can see. So you've also then got in here, there's storage underneath the oven. So a nice little storage area underneath there. And then inside here you've got some glasses, which again, wine glasses, which will, if you look at, again, the nice little touches that Nimbus provide with the Nimbus logos on all of their cutlery and crockery. So it's really well presented, and again to a high finish. So you've got your glasses in there. If you want glasses in here, you've got an area for a bin, which is a nice large storage area for a bin. Inside here is again all the cutlery. So again, you've got all the Nimbus logos and so on all the cutlery as well, which is inside there. And then in this one, you've also got a full crockery set, plates, bowls, tumbler glasses. So you don't even need to provide any plates or cutlery or crockery. It's all provided with the boat standard on this boat. And it's, again, it's nice little touches. So you've then also got over here in the galley, you've got the 2 stainless sinks. So you've got one there, and you've also got one in here as well. So again, it's quite handy when you're washing up. You can put some of your dirty dishes and stuff in there, and you can obviously wash these ones and put them up on the side. So it's lovely stainless finish there. Again, high quality products, materials. You've got a little power socket which is here. One of the things that some people do mention is obviously the concern about the curtain, which is here. Now obviously when you're cooking, you don't want a curtain above it, so you can just unpop it from there, and then you can just slide it out of the way. So that's now completely out of the way. It's nice and safe. It's not a fire hazard, and you can just bring that back again once you've finished and pop it back on. You've also then got on both the port and the starboard sides, you've also got the blinds. So if you look over here, these blinds which will come all the way down. So that again, you've got the blinds and the curtains, so it'll black out really nice at night, provide you with a lot of privacy, and those will pop up quite nicely across there. And then also another nice little touch is also this seat. There's a little latch just there. The helm seat will actually undo, and then you can tilt it forward, and that will provide you with an extra worktop area. So when you are preparing food at night, obviously you've got a limited bit of space here, but that just gives you a little bit more space then for sort of food preparation when you're trying to make a meal on board. You've also then got on the starboard side down here, underneath the helm seat, so this is your fridge, and you've also got a little freezer drawer there in the top. That's that one. And then also, you then on the port side, underneath this seat here, you've then also got a drawer fridge. So again, if you've got bottles of wine, you want to pop them in there. It's a nice little drawer fridge as well. As we head forward into this area here, you've then got your sort of chart table, and also this pops up and you've got an area to sit and watch the television. So you can sit back here of an evening and watch the telly quite comfortably onto there. And also you've got a Fusion music system here and a bit of storage just there. Isolators in here. So your main fuses and isolators for power are actually located just underneath this little foot rest by the helm position, and you can just see in there, so we've got these three switches here. Those ones are the ones that turn on your, obviously your engine one. You can see you've then got your aux and your heavy aux. So on this boat there'll be a number of batteries. There'll be one for the bow thruster, one for the stern thruster, one for the engine, and then there's a couple there also for the house. And then you've got these little pencil fuses. So again, if a fuse pops, or if you've got something that's not working, you can quickly, at a glance, just check and see if something's not working. Or if you want to put your water pump on, then obviously you can do all that from there as well. So all in all, in terms of what they can fit in a small 10-metre cruiser, it's actually quite a lot, and it still seems really spacious. So yeah, it's a real comfortable, real warm, comfy place to spend some time inside this cabin. So it's really good. So as we spoke about earlier, this is the rock and roll seat. Really easy. Hand underneath, other hand into that position. It's not heavy at all. It's quite an easy movement to move that seat into a forward facing position. Now I can quite happily sit two people in this seat. It's loads of space, and it's a fantastic spot. Really good spot to be able to look out whilst you're underway in comfort, and you can also chat to the person at the helm at the same time rather than being facing in a completely opposite direction. So it's a real good use of space, real clever rock and roll seat, and really popular with Nimbus customers. So here we are at the helm. It's a real nice ergonomic helm, really comfortable position to sit in with everything to hand. We'll just work our way through it, and we'll start from obviously starboard side and then work across to the port side. So over on this side we've got the keyless ignition for the Volvo Penta. So if I just pop that one on first of all, just key the ignition on. That'll wake up obviously the remote. So the remote here is obviously it's a single engine. You can tell it's a single engine as well because it's got the single handle. On a twin engine it has the twin handles which you can operate together or operate both engines on a single remote. So this is a single engine. It's got your usual information stuff on here, obviously in terms of being able to activate sort of cruise control. There is autopilot, which is over on this side over here, so you can operate the Simrad autopilot as well. If we look down to here, we've then you've got your Volvo Penta display. So this is going to give you all your relevant information in terms of the engine, that you can look at and you can scroll through. So currently this one here, this one is my view. You can change obviously my view on there. So this is a view on here in terms of you can summarize some of the key bits to do with the engine. So on this one we've got fuel, we've got rudder angle on here as well, which is obviously a good thing to have, knowing where the rudder's facing in terms of direction. If you're literally about to go underway, you know that you've got your rudder straight, or if you need to turn slightly. You've got oil temperature on this side, you've also got RPM and knots, but again you can change all that information as well. If you go back, you can then scroll across, you can then obviously look at engine information again in a bit more detail. So you've got your RPM, engine hours, oil temperature, battery level, battery charging. So again, you can look at that. And if we go back again and scroll across, you can obviously look at the fuel on board again. So you can look at your fuel level. You can also look at fuel consumption figures to see what amount of fuel you're burning per hour at the current speed. And it will then give you again obviously a distance to empty. Again, you can scroll across and it gives you again a bit more vessel information, and again also then your battery management information. So that's again to do with the engine side, engine data, and you can also relay some of that onto the plotter, which is also on there as well. So this is an upgraded Simrad plotter. This one is the 16-inch NSS Evo 3S. So this is an upgraded model, so it's a nice big large display, and again so you can have a split screen on here in terms of obviously your plotter, sounder, and also have your engine information, everything else on there as well. It has built-in AIS in terms of a receiver, so you can obviously see what other vessels are out there and their location, but it doesn't give your location, but we can always add that to it. So you can add what's called like a transceiver to it. That will actually also give your location as well to them. If we look just below the throttle position on here, we've then also got the bow thrusters and stern thrusters, which we'll talk about in a second. And then also this one here, which is your Humphreys comfort system, which is to do with the trim system, which will allow, it will help balance out the boat in terms of pitch and roll, and it will make it a nice smooth ride and a comfortable ride for those people on board. And also depending on how you've loaded the boat. So again, you can adjust the pitch and the roll depending on the setup of the boat as well. You can either manually adjust that, or you can also have it on auto as well. As you come across onto here, you've also then got your bow thruster switch, your thruster switch on here, so you can turn that on and off, and then you can isolate the power to your bow thruster and your stern thruster, which is on there. But you also do have a remote control on here, so if you do need to leave the helm at any time, so you've just got your midship rope on as you've left the helm, and you want to be able to get your bow line on, but the bows slightly come off from the pontoon, you can take your remote with you, which you can have on a lanyard around your neck, and then you can obviously bring the bow of the boat in, and also the same for the stern. So as you make your way to the stern to get your stern line on, and you want to bring the stern in, you can do that remotely from here, so you don't have to keep coming back to the helm to operate it from the dash on here. So this remote will also operate the windlass as well. So this boat has just the bow windlass. Obviously with the Swedish design boats, Nimbus boats, they do often also come with a stern anchor. This one hasn't been spec'd with a stern anchor because it's for use in the UK, which isn't so popular. But again, you can operate your windlass from the remote as well, but also you've also got it up on the bow. So again, on this side, this one here just underneath the steering wheel, you might not be able to see that, but if I tilt the helm slightly, so again you've got full tilt on the actual steering wheel, so you can adjust the height of that as well. So on this side, these switches are obsolete because that's if you have a stern windlass, which this one doesn't. You've then got some bilges on here. Obviously the bilges are actually automatic, but obviously you can also check those as well. And then this side over here, this is for your bow windlass, so that's for your operation there. And then you've got your windscreen wiper operations, lights, horn, and a couple of spare auxiliaries as well. Up on the top on this side, so you've then also got up here the RS 40, which is the Simrad wireless VHF handheld VHF radio. The actual head unit is down in the technical area down below, but obviously again that's a complete wireless system, so you can walk around the boat and obviously use your VHF rather than having to have it on a cord. And then you've also got a nice little compass which is mounted with nice good clear view from the helm position, so you've also got that in good visibility. So continuing from the helm position, you've got this really comfortable helm seat with a nice little bolster section, so if you want to get that little bit better visibility out through the windscreen to give a nice good clear view, you can obviously sit on top of this bolster. Alternatively, obviously you can pop that one down. It gives you a nice little rest for the upper part of your legs. So that one will pop up out of the way. You then also have, when you're sat down in that nice comfortable position, you've also then got a nice little footrest which will drop down to here. So you've got a nice little area to rest your feet. But obviously that one also, the reason for popping that one out of the way is so that it doesn't become a trip hazard when you need to get access out through the side door, through the helm door, to then obviously go and attend to your bow and stern line. And as always with Nimbus boats, they are not only are they built to a standard and not to a price, but they're also built with functionality, as always, at the core of their build of boats, to make sure that it is a usable and functional boat. So as we exit from the helm door, which will actually stop, you can stop it in a couple of different stages. It will actually stop in a stage there. So again, if you want a little bit of a breeze through, or you can then drop it all the way back and it will lock in position. But as we just mentioned, in terms of functionality and making sure that this boat is an easy boat to handle, and particularly to handle single-handedly, you've got that midship cleat, which is literally right outside the door. So as you exit through here from the helm position, which you can get to that cleat, get your midship line on, and then if you've got your wireless bow thruster and stern thruster remote on around your neck, you can then, as I said, you can then approach towards the bow, bring the bow in if you need to remotely, get your bow line onto the pontoon, and then you can then also do the same when you make your way back to the stern. So again, nice, good, wide access from the helm door position here, so everything is easily accessible to get in and out, to get to your midship cleat, and then to get to that nice wide sidewalk to then make your way from the helm position to the bow, or also to the stern. So as we make our way forward down into the two bedrooms, so this is the forward master cabin. So again, a nice large double bed with extra mattress toppers and so on, so it's real comfy space, and there's a good bit of room in here. So you've got a little bit of storage over here on the starboard side, reading lights. You've got nice light through the port and starboard windows, and obviously a bow one as well. At the minute we've got the cushions up there at the moment, so it's covering that one, but and obviously you can close that off as well with a blind across there at night, so you can keep that all enclosed. And you've got your blinds there which will drop down above the port and starboard windows. So again, it provides a nice bit of light into here as well. And then over here on the port side, you've also then got obviously operation for your lights within the room. And then in here, you've got a nice bit of storage inside there for your clothes. And then underneath, there is also storage in here. So you've actually got, within these, you've also got some drawers which will slide out, and you can put obviously some clothes and stuff in there. If you look underneath here, we've got a little outlet there for obviously your heating. There's another power supply. There's another set of drawers and stuff on this side. So again, yeah, it's a nice sized bed, plenty of room. Again, a lot of room for a 33-foot boat in terms of a cabin. So it's a nice bit of space. You're not feeling like you're on top of each other, which is very good. And again, if you wanted to, on the actual bed itself, there's a V section in here which will actually come out. So if you want to take that section out to give you a bit more of a walk into the actual bedroom, then you can do that as well. So there's plenty of space there. And then as you look on the port side, you've got the guest cabin. So again, this is another double bed, a little bit smaller, but again, it still provides plenty of space for two people to quite comfortably sleep at night. A little bit of storage over there towards the stern. And again, you've also got in here another storage cupboard. So there's plenty of storage on board this boat, little towel holders and so on there. And again, you can shut this off with a curtain on there on that side. A little port window, again with your blinds that will pop down as privacy during the night. And then as we move over to the starboard side, we then have access into the heads. So again, real generous size heads in here. So you've got, again, your toilet, and then also this will slide around and then become obviously the shower as well. So it's a wet room area, so you can either stand in the shower or you can sit down. It gives you plenty of space. Again, there is a nice stainless sink. You've got storage up there, and then also some storage and access in down there, as well as again another heater outlet, diesel heater outlet there, and again a starboard side window which again has a blind again for privacy, so you can drop that down as well. So again, a nice large wet room which will give you plenty of space if you're looking to weekend. This is a perfect weekending boat. If you want to cruise around the coast and stop off at different places, you will be more than comfortable within this boat. And then one of the other good things to notice when you walk around this boat, there are plenty of grab handles. As I exit from the forward cabin or from the heads from down here, as I'm making my way up the steps, there's a grab handle here. So it gives you plenty of points of contact as you're making your way around the boat. And as I get to here, you can then also, there are grab handles on the ceiling. So you can hold on if the boat is underway and you need to move around whilst the boat is under steam, then you can actually still hold on to that and make your way around the boat quite happily and quite comfortably and safely. So yeah, it's a real spacious boat for a 33-foot vessel. A lot of visibility from the helm position. Fantastic access in and out from the helm position quite easily. So again, you can quite comfortably hand this boat without having to have crew on board to get your lines. Unlike some boats where this helm position is completely fixed and you can't exit from the helm position. By the time you then leave from the helm and then exit out the stern and then come around, the boat may well have moved by that point. So it's quite good that you can get a quick access from this position out to your midship rope, to midship cleat to get a rope on. And at the same time, you've also then got your bow and stern thrusters, which you can also operate not only from the dash, as we spoke about earlier, but also from the actual remote as well. So if you are away from the helm and the boat's moved off from the pontoons slightly, you can always bring it in, bring the bow in or bring the stern in, or literally side shift the boat in towards the pontoon to enable you to get your ropes. So as we make our way back out of the saloon, out into the cockpit, and then we now want to be able to get to the bow, to get a rope on, to help the skipper get the boat berthed alongside. You've got this fantastic sidewalk, lovely sidewalk, nice and wide, plenty of space to walk up and down the deck, with this beautifully high gunnel, with this fantastic stainless finishing on the top, on the pulpit rails. It's a real nice high gunnel up to just short of your hip, so it's nice and safe. Again, if you've got youngsters on board, or again if you've got a dog on board, they're less likely to end up over the side of the boat. And as you make your way forward, you've got a little step up onto this one here, but it's still nice wide access to walk along through here. I can quite happily stand here with both feet side by side. And not only that, as I make my way to the bow, reassuringly, there is a nice grab handle that runs along the top of the coach roof along here. So as you make your way forward, you can, to give yourself a bit of reassurance, hold on to that handle there. And as you get to the end of that, the start of the pulpit rail from here, from the helm position, then starts to rise up. So as you then make your way up this step towards the bow, as you make your way up this step, the pulpit rail comes with it. So it's still nice and high. So now, again, that's up just short of my hip height. So it provides plenty of safety. I'm less likely to fall off the side of the boat, and it gives me a good bit of access and plenty of space to walk up towards the bow. As we make our way up towards the bow, we've then obviously up here we've got access to the windlass again, which can be foot operated. So you can pop these two caps there, and you can operate the windlass up and down from here. Again, as we said earlier, you can operate it from the remote or also from the dash. And again, this one is the anchor locker. So you lift that one up, and it gives you plenty of space, and you can also store some of your ropes in there. And also just here, this one, that is your bow inlet for your shore power. So you have shore power at the stern, but you've also got the option to plug in shore power in the bow, which is useful, particularly for customers that have to berth the boat's bow in. But obviously on this boat, you've got both options. On here, you've got the fantastic forward sunbed. So loads of space for laying out, lounging on the bow, with some nice little cup holders there, both sides, both the port and starboard side. And then again, as you make your way over to the port side, there is still a walkway which goes around the side on the port side, and I can quite happily make my way around here. And again, as we said earlier, on the starboard, same as the starboard side, you've got these reassuringly nice grab handles there on top of the coach roof, which means that you are a bit more comfortable and a bit safer making your way around the boat. And again, nice high pulpit rail, which gives you a bit of sense of security and stability as you make your way around the deck. And then as you can see from the top there, that's the fantastic panoramic roof there, which again, you've got these two forward ones on the port and starboard side, one from the helm, one from the passenger side. Those two will slide right back to give you plenty of ventilation inside. Those are fixed panels, but again, adds a huge amount of light inside the saloon, which is fantastic. And then as we make our way back around, so you've got your nav lights on the bow, port and starboard side. And as you make your way around to the bow, again, as with most Scandinavian boats, they love being able to go bow in, and they'll do they'll put a stern anchor out as well. And then people will come off the bow, and they do have like a little bow ladder that comes off there. So that's also an option. You've got your nice large cleats there on both the port and starboard side on the bow. And as we make our way back, you can see the huge windscreen there, which provides a huge amount of visibility for the helm. And as we step down again, you can see where the pulpit rail runs with you. And then as you take that step down here, again, you've still got that nice high gunnel. And then at this point, this is the point where if you're going to exit from the helm and you get your midship rope on, this is where you can then step off onto the pontoon. So again, it's quite cleverly thought out, good access on and off the boat. As we make our way back towards the stern, again, you've got freshwater filler here, and then inside underneath this grate, you've then got access to your wastewater, and then obviously that's your diesel inlet in there. And then the next thing we'll have a look at is the storage, which is just underneath this lazarette area here. So we'll lift that one up. And again, you've got a huge amount of storage inside that lazarette on the starboard side. And as it goes all the way back, there's a lot of space in there. Obviously, that's the aft covers that give you that closed canopy at the stern. And again, you've got access to isolators. So should you need to get to some of the switches manually, then you can operate them from down there. But also, your main day-to-day, when you're isolating the power on board, that's done at the helm. It's all electronic. But if you do need to operate it manually for whatever reason, and it's not working electronically, then you can do it manually as well. So we'll lock that one. And again, all the way around the boat, you've got these courtesy deck lights, which provides a huge amount of lighting on board the deck, particularly at night. It lights up really nicely, and just finishes the rest of the boat off, but also makes it nice and safe when you're making your way around the deck at night. So one of the things that we also mentioned about was the Eversplasher diesel heater, which is on board. So again, it keeps plenty of warmth inside this saloon area. It will really warm up nice and quickly. There's an outlet which is just here, just underneath the helm. There is then also an outlet in the heads, outlet in the forward cabin, and obviously an outlet also in the guest cabin as well. So it'll provide plenty of warmth. You've also got a demister as well for the screen. And one of the other things that this boat also has is the Nimbus Connect. The benefit of the Nimbus Connect is it's an app that's on your phone, and it will connect to the boat when you're not with it. It will allow you to be able to connect to the boat to check all the systems on board whilst you're not there. So one of the key things of that and the benefits of that means that before you get to your boat, if you're looking to head down to the boat at the weekend and you want to make sure that everything is all good on board before you head out, you can check things like your fuel quantity on board. You can also check your battery levels. There's lots of things you can check on board the boat. You can also look at the GPS on it, GPS tracking. So again, it's quite a good thing for insurance to make sure that the boat is where you last left it on its marina berth and it hasn't moved anywhere. And obviously you can set like a geofence. So if the boat does move off of its berth, or if you're anchored, again, if the boat then does move from its location, then you can it will send you an alert and an alarm to let you know. And you can also pick up other performance figures as well on board, so you can track all that by your phone. But that's the Nimbus Connect, which is again another fantastic feature which Nimbus have added in the last year or two. So also on the aft cockpit area, you also have the aft closing, which will connect up onto here, and it will zip onto there. Obviously the covers for this are down inside this lazarette at the moment, but it will zip onto here, and it will cover all the way around and come down, and it will come down over the stern, down here. It will fix to the floor there, which is by these little stainless deck fittings, which is really neat system. So that will attach on these two, then it will attach at the back here, and there's a zip piece that will allow you to access still in and out when it's up through the stern gate, and it will go in behind here, just in front of the fenders, behind this seat, and then all the way around on that port side, and zip all the way around. So the whole of this aft area will be completely enclosed, and the benefit obviously with that is it means that, again, like this boat is meant to be, it's supposed to be an all year round boat. So again, if you get those days where it's a bit cold, bit wet, bit windy, you can still find yourself in plenty of space on board this boat, which you don't feel enclosed. You've extended the size of the saloon into this aft deck area, and also if you had your heating on and you got your canopies closed, it would still provide a nice bit of warmth out here as well. So this truly is a all year round boat, and is probably one of the best cruisers on the market. One of the other things to also note is the twin solar panels on top of the coach roof there. So again, the benefit of that, it's been spec'd on this particular model. The benefit of that is it means it will allow a continuous sort of charge of your batteries while you're not on board, and also while you're on board as well. If you're staying somewhere where you don't have access to shore power and you want to keep batteries and stuff charged up, then it will allow the continuous trickle charge of your batteries. It will prioritise obviously the engine start batteries, but also it will then top up your house batteries as well as your bow and stern thruster batteries. The other thing that's also missing is the mast that sits on the top. It's a nice stainless mast that sits on top of the coach roof there, which also houses one horn, so the horn for the actual boat. It also houses antenna a TV antenna, and also an all-round white light. But also if you wanted to put on board a radar, then obviously it will house, it's a place for you to mount the radar as well. So that is the Nimbus 305 Coupe, which is by far probably one of the best 33 foot or 10.07 metre cruisers on the market. If you're looking for something which is, again, built to a standard and not to a price point, and you want something that is solid in terms of build quality and is going to last, then look no further than the Nimbus 305 Coupe. If you'd like more information or would like to arrange a sea trial, please feel free to give us a call, 01752 407070.